Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. We are back in X-Plane 12, and before we begin, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate the holiday, and happy holidays to all of you. Wishing you a Happy New Year. Hopefully, I'll see you before the new year, and I'll be able to wish you again Happy New Year and all the best in the year ahead for you, your families, and your loved ones. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the TDS GTNXi 750 Garmin device for X-Plane 12. And I want to thank the guys over at TDS for providing me with a pre-release copy of the TDS Garmin device to showcase here on the channel. Please do note that the project is still in late alpha. It will be entering into beta at the beginning of the year. I do not have any information as to the release date or the pricing, but I can tell you that this is something that I'm really excited for. The team over at TDS has developed a true-to-life Garmin device based on the Garmin trainer for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. They have now released the 2024 version and working towards the X-Plane version, which, by the way, the fact that it's in alpha, it actually looks very good for an alpha build. And we're going to be taking a look at it today in the TorqueSim CitationJet. I'm not sure why the aircraft has moved all the way here, but yeah, it's been acting a little strange. It's been just moving for some reason. But guys, what do you think of X-Plane? Look at the night lighting in X-Plane. Just looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that. It doesn't look just great. So, Mike Coffee, welcome aboard. Merry Christmas to you. We have A Flyer, welcome aboard. We have S. Mays with us today. Jules, welcome aboard. Renan D. Oliveira, my dear friend, thank you very much for being here. Merry Christmas to you. Thomas, good evening to you. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Raul Rodriguez, good morning to you. Good afternoon, Flyby. James, hello, James, welcome aboard. We have Simon Lambert, welcome aboard. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. And Sergio, hello, everyone. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we'll call the pushback truck, hopefully, and they'll help us get out of this mess here. Today is also going to be a chance for us to take a look maybe at the night lighting in the CitationJet. So the first thing is we're going to go to the main menu. We're going to remove all the ground elements here. And there we go. We are, as you can see, I have selected the GTN 750Xi for the Avionics. So the guys over at TorqueSim have already built in the integration into the TDS device. So very, very nice to see that the developers are talking to one another and that they're collaborating on, bringing the highest quality add-ons to X-Plane 12. All right, back in the cockpit, everything is pretty dark, so we are going to, perhaps we need to change the, you know what, let me try to do the following. Let me just change the, let me just say here, confirm, start new flight. Maybe it will put us in the right spot. I'm not sure why it's moved, but yeah, it tends to, although the chocks are on, but it's moved. All right, so there we go. Yeah, it moved earlier, so now at least we can see what's going on in the cockpit because we do have the lights. It will take a little bit of time. Yeah, we removed everything here, so it should be fine now. Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, so the first thing first is we are going to follow the checklist like we did last time, and then we're going to take we're going to set up the Garmin device and we're going to take a closer look at it once we are at cruise. So cockpit inspection, first oxygen control valve is normal. The oxygen masks are checked and properly stowed. They are right here, one on this side and one on the other side right there. All circuit breakers are currently in. All right, on the captain and first officer sides. Then we have the standby gyro switch, which is located right here. We're going to test that. And standby gyro, red light is on. So we're good here. battery switch to battery. All right, there we go. Very nice sounds. All right, let's bring up some lights. So we're going to click here on night light on. And we are going to bring lights to the instruments. There we go. Excellent. And some floodlights here so we can see. Look at that, guys. Yeah. The lighting is just sensational. Very, very nice. Okay. Avionics power voltage, we have 24 volts, so we are good there. The ATIS clearance is checked. Rotary test switch, which is right here. Fire warning. We can see the fire warning illuminated. Landing gear, battery temp, angle of attack. There's your shaker, spare, weather system, overspeed, anti-skid, and the annunciators, and all checks okay. Perfect. All right, next we are going to do the radar. So the radar is off or standby. Battery switch to emergency. Actually, before that, we need to go to avionics on. Right, so the avionics are on. Right, there's your Garmin device powering up as well. Perfect. And the, let's see, battery switch to emergency. And check the instruments. Right. Holds good. Battery back to battery and turn the avionics off. Excellent. The generators are off. And next, the fuel boost pumps are normal. The fuel boost pumps are here and they are both in the normal position. Fuel transfer switch is off, which it is. Windshield bleed air manual valves to off. Right, both are off. The LH gyro slave on auto, which it is on auto. Control lock is unlocked. The parking brake obviously is set. And the landing gear handle is down. Check 3 greens, 3 green lights. Excellent. Anti-skid switch is on. The anti-skid switch is right here and it's turned on. Perfect. Standby gyro caging knob. We need to uncage that. So it says pull to cage, so press to uncage. Excellent. The engine instrument warning indicators, no flags. We're good there. And let's see here. Let me cancel those. Perfect. Air conditioning is off. The air source selector knob as required. RH gyro slaved. Throttles, we're going to check that they're both off, which they are. And the thrust attenuator switch on auto, which it is on auto. It's right there. It's set on auto. Okay. And let's see, what else is there? Engine synchronizer is off. It's right there. The switch is right there. Let me just show you guys real quick. So if you're following, the attenuator switch for the thrust attenuator switch is right here. It's currently set on auto. And this is the engine synchronizer, which is currently off. Okay, all other switches are off or normal. External power is connected if available, and the battery switch. Then, of course, the cockpit inspection completes with the battery turning off. So, but we're not going to turn the battery off. We'll just leave it on for now. All right, perfect. Welcome, Owen. Welcome aboard, my friend. And we have also Mass Franson. Welcome aboard, Dougal McTavish. Hello, my friend. Happy holidays to you. I'm very glad that you're able to make it. And I responded to your message in Discord. Dougal, hopefully we'll make that happen starting this week or the week after. Okay. All right. So the cockpit inspection is complete before starting the engines. The pre-flight inspection is complete. Wheel chocks removed. Cabin door is closed. Passenger briefing is... Let's go ahead and brief the passengers.
Welcome aboard this CitationJet.
Okay.
We're delighted to have you with us on our
Seat
flight.
belts.
Please make yourself comfortable and securely stow any personal
Fuel
items.
quantity checked.
When you are ready, kindly fasten your
Flashing
seatbelt.
beacon
Thank you
is
for
on.
choosing to fly with us today.
And the air conditioner is off. Okay. I think we can now push back out of our position. And if we look at where we are here. So, ooh, why are the taxi lights on? All right, let's turn those off. All right, there we go. All right, that's better. So actually, we can just start the aircraft and go. We don't really need the... yeah, let's just start the engines and set up our avionics, and we'll be good to go. All right, so we're going to start the engines now, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the air conditioner, fans, temperature control are as required, lights are as required, avionics switch, that's before taxi, so starting engine, sorry. Flood and center panel lights, night operation, start button pressed momentarily, and we can now start the engines. Okay, so we're good here. We're going to go ahead and start the right engine. Check out the sounds. Right, and let's go ahead and give it fuel. Listen to the beautiful sounds. Monitor the ITT for the right engine. And everything is good. All right, we have a good start, and let's go ahead and start the left engine. Right, there we go, and fuel. The sounds are really very well done on this aircraft. V2 Rem, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Okay. We have a good start on both engines. Engine instruments check normal, fuel oil generators. All right, so we're going to turn on the generators, the right gen and the left gen. Okay, excellent. External power is off, generators, DC amps, and volts are checked, and we are good. There we go. All right, everything here is looking in tip-top shape. Perfect. Okay, now the before taxi, lights are as required. Avionics power switch is on. So avionics on. AC inverter is on. And now the aircraft systems are coming up. And here is our lovely Garmin device. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pop it out so that you guys can...
TOS, system test okay.
Oh, you got to love that. All right, let me just bring it up here. All right, so here you can actually click here. You can click here to pop the device right there. So, all right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set this up based on our SimBrief flight plan. We are flying today from Glasgow to London Stansted, continuing on the last flight where we arrived into Glasgow, and continuing also our Orbx Earth showcase here on the channel. A quick word for those of you who like Orbx, you have a pinned message in chat. If you sign up for the Orbx newsletter, you will enter the draw to win 12 Orbx products. So you'll enter the draw every month for 12 months to win 12 Orbx products. Does the TDS unit use X-Planes navigational database or Garmin trainer? It uses the Garmin trainer. Okay, so let's go to the flight plan. As you can see here, we are at Glasgow. Do you guys want me to do this, or you want me to zoom onto the into the unit? So we can do this. Maybe that's better. Let's do that. Let me just do. I think it's easier for you guys probably to see here than with the pop-up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's better, I think. Okay, so let's go to Glasgow. We are going to bring up the Navigraph charts, and we're going to move it to the side. Now, I noticed that it won't work like it used to. Oof, look at the... All right, so let's go here. All right, so we are departing runway 23 through the Norb 1 Hotel. So we're going to click here, load the procedure. The departure is the Norb. Let's see here. Go down. Norb 1 Hotel. And it automatically picked the runway, which is runway 23 through... Is it the Norbo transition? It is indeed the Norbo transition. And we're going to say load the departure. Now you'll see that we have everything here. And then from Norbo, we are going to take, let's see, Airway Tango 256. So load Airway Tango 256. And we're going to exit at, let's see, Rovla, United Kingdom. There we go. And load. And then we are going to take Uniform Tango 256. So we're going to click here, load Airway, Uniform Tango 256, and we're going to exit at DCS. Dean Cross, load, and then we are going to take Uniform Lima 612, load Airway, Uniform Lima 612, and we're going to exit at Listo. There we go, Listo, United Kingdom, and load that. Add the destination, which is Echo Golf Sierra, London Stansted, and we're going to say enter. We're going to also load the procedure. So first, the arrival. The arrival is going to be through the list one Lima. Let's see if we can find it. List 1 Lima, and load the arrival. And finally, we're going to go back to, let's see here. All right, let's see here. Procedure, approach, and the approach is going to be runway, the ILS runway 22, and we're going to select the Laurel transition and load the approach. Says okay, and now we can move down here. We have the center fix and we have runway 22 here on the map. Going back, if you go to the map, one of the nice things, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll in and out, and you can tell that the resolution is still not the highest, and that is probably because it's an alpha. So TDS Sim Software, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for being here. As far as the navigation database charts, TDS GTNXi explain will be first explain GPS unit using both Navigraph navigation database as well as Navigraph charts as fully updatable. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, TDS Sim Software. Now, this is actually already integrated with Navigraph charts. So if we go to the second unit here and we click on charts, we have Glasgow, and as you can see here, we already have Navigraph charts integration. To do this, to enter your information there, you need to go here, to go to the general settings and say Navigraph charts, and that's how you enter your credentials and connect Navigraph charts to the aircraft. Now we can click here on the approach, we can go to the departure, and we can select our departure from the Norbo 1 Hotel, I think, was it? The Norbo 1 Hotel, there we go. And it will load the charts. You gotta just really love that. I really like the Navigraph integration. Again, you can zoom in and out just with using your mouse wheel, which is pretty handy. So everything here is set up. Our flight plan is done. This is set on GPS. Again, by the way, this is all modeled here. We're going to take a look at this in some detail. You can click here for the flight plan, for the traffic, just easy access to all this once you are airborne. Okay, we are good to go, and let's begin with the before taxi checklist. Air conditioning is as required. The lights are as required. We're going to put this on taxi. In fact, let's just very quickly grab the altimeter here at Glasgow, which is 1007. So let's set 1007. 1007. All right, and we'll do the same thing on the first officer's side. 1007 is now set. We're going to set the taxi lights. So both these lights go down. Excellent. And next we can continue now with our checklist. AC inverter switch is selected either. Passenger safety is done. Let's go ahead and play the safety.
Before we depart, please take a moment to review the safety features.
Pressurization is set to auto. Electrical elevator trim is checked and set. Flaps
in the event of a loss
are
of
set.
cabin pressure, don your oxygen mask.
Flight controls are free and correct. Thrust attenuator is auto. Aegis clearance, FMS, GPS, and charts are checked. Takeoff data confirmed. RH attitude, pull to cage the knob, pull and release. There we go. And what else do we have here? Avionics check and set. All right, so everything is pretty much set up here. Why do we have this here? We shouldn't have those switches. Ah, that's because of the pitot and static. There we go. Now we don't have it. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, we are set, and this is set on nav. So if I click on nav 1, you'll see that it will automatically read all the information that is already available in the Garmin device, which is pretty cool. Hello there, Ja. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Lodo Kerman, welcome aboard. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Have you liked to be live on the Stranda PC-12? Yes, sir. I've already purchased the aircraft, and I will be testing it out before I make the full review here. M Dinner 33, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. On the detailed traffic flow, you know it's the UK when the traffic flows in opposite lanes. I see. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we are good to go, folks. And just a few things. Let's set our... we're going to... The Cimbri flight plan said 41,000 feet, but that's a bit excessive. The distance is about 395 nautical miles, so we are going to go to 30,000 feet today for the flight, and I think that's sufficient. So there we go. All right, so that's done. Everything here is done. We're going to set the heading to 230. So let me just bring this one here. It's easier. So 230 for the heading. Which is basically runway heading. 230. Okay, perfect. All right, we are good to go, and let's go ahead and release the parking brake and head over to the runway. I'm going to release the parking brake, and they fixed the guys over at TorqueSim have released an update recently which fixed the steering of the aircraft on the ground, which was a real nightmare on release, but it is fixed now. So very, very enjoyable aircraft. Highly recommended with, of course, the reduction in price. Incidentally, the developer of one of the lead developers of TorqueSim has reached out to me on Discord, and he wrote me a very, very nice message. And basically, he concurs with everything I said in my initial review. So I was very pleased to hear that, that this is one of the developers that agrees with everything I said. So, yeah. All right, so here we go. We are going to head over to the other direction there for runway 23. Just really beautiful aircraft and in a beautiful sim. There you go. Look at that. Very nice sounds. I really appreciate the night lighting in X-Plane 12. I think it's very, very well done. Hello, KFC Turbo. Welcome aboard. Can you import Cimbri flight plans directly into the unit? I don't know. regards to importing SimBrief flight plans in the TDS, this is a feature that we're looking into. All right, perfect. I don't think there is anything that the guys over at TDS are not thinking about at this point. I've used the TDS Garmin device ever since its launch for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and by far it is the most authentic representation of Garmin, the Garmin GTN available for flight simulation. Reason being, it's of course based on the actual unit, so it actually requires the Garmin trainer to be running on your PC. The installation is a breeze and it is feature rich. The price is reasonable, and it's got Navigraph charts integration, which is in my view a must for any enthusiast, any flight sim enthusiast. So yeah, I'm really liking the night lighting here. Look at that, guys. Just check this out. So nice. Look at X-Plane, how beautiful the night lighting is. Just really very, very well done. All right, let's focus on our taxi here. I've done a few more test flights with the CitationJet, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm very, very happy with my purchase, I'll have to tell you. But again, you know, when I give my opinion of an aircraft, guys, I give it to the community from the average consumer perspective. So yeah, it is quite expensive. All right, now for the standard takeoff performance, according to my charts, we are going to have a V1 of 103, V rotate 103, and V2 of 104. And we're going to set our minimum takeoff N1 to 95.9. So let's go ahead and set that. 95.9. What did I do? Went the other direction. There we go. 95.9 is set. And we are good to go. Are you using auto ortho? No, Ja, I'm using Orbex True Earth, which is just gorgeous. Just really gorgeous. All right, let's give it some power here. Look at those clouds. All righty. I mean, X-Plane is really looking really, really good. Very, very immersive, highly realistic looking sim, especially when using Orbex True Earth or ortho photos or, you know, auto ortho. It really is a wonderful looking sim. All right, so let's go ahead and prepare the cabin for departure. So we're going to come here, and
as we prepare for takeoff, please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened and that your seat is in the upright position. All electronic devices should be set to airplane mode or turned off. We'll be in the air shortly, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
all right, before takeoff checklist, NTI systems are as required. Passenger seats check. Cockpit air disc knob is as required. Air source select knob is both, which is selected to both. Excellent. Pitot static heat is on. NTI SDI systems on if required. They're not required at this point. And landing recognition lights. We're going to turn those anti-collision lights on. And let's go to landing lights. Right, landing lights are on, and the anti-collision lights are on. Transponder. So we're going to come here to our unit, and we're going to click here. You got to love the Garmin device. Everything is so easy with the Garmin GTN. All right, so you'll notice a little bit of a difference from the what we've done in the previous flight, where we had two knobs for the transponder. Now we just need the Garmin device, and we're all set and ready to go. All right. For takeoff, we're going to set the takeoff thrust, check the engine instruments, and then release the brakes. So we are good here. And we'll begin with the checklist after departure. Let me bring the yoke so we can see what we're doing. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are cleared for takeoff. All right, let's hold the brakes. Set the power to 95.9. Takeoff thrust is... My throttles keep going back. All right. There we go. Parking brake released. Airspeed alive. Notice the Garmin device is zooming in. Very strong crosswind. Right, 100 knots. Rotate. Woof. Positive rate of climb. Gears going up. Notice the crosswind, guys. Very, very violent crosswind. 23 knots of crosswind. All right. Here we go. This is a beautiful departure out of Glasgow. All right, we're going to turn on the engine synchronizer, and yaw damper is on. Excellent. Looking good. 1,000 feet. Hand flying this aircraft is just real joy. A little bit of turbulence here. Right, there we go. We'll pitch the nose down a little bit and gain some speed. Looking good. Right, we're approaching. Let's retract. We should have retracted the flaps earlier. All right, there we go. All right, and IAS, nav, and autopilot engaged. And now the aircraft should follow the path here in the Garmin device. Let me bring this up here. You can see now the aircraft is turning. You have to really appreciate the detail in the GTN Garmin device, which is true to life. Right, all is good here. Let me do the following. Let me bring up the device, the autopilot. All right. There we go. Continue the climb. All right. Let's do the after takeoff. So the landing gear is up, flaps are up, ignition is set. Ignition is normal. Engine synchronizer as required. Yaw damper, passenger advisory switch is fine. Landing recognition lights are off. Landing pressurization on oxygen control valve is normal. Oxygen control valve normal. Cabin altitude lower than 12 feet, which it is. And there we go. Nav is now engaged. And the aircraft is following the flight path. Thank you, Gianni. Thank you very much, my friend. Pilot deviation, it's updated through an idea. Yeah. All right, so we are continuing to climb, and transition altitude is 6,000 feet in the UK. So let's set the barometer to standard. All right, let me bring this up because I want you to see the details. Again, look at this. Very, very cool. And we'll take a look at the device, at the details a little bit later. All right, actually, let me show you a couple of things here, which I will wait for this to go away. All right, let's go back here. So if we go to the traffic, now the traffic is fully modeled. So if you get any traffic in the vicinity and it is within range, it will say traffic, and you'll be able to see the traffic exactly like you would in the real device. So TCAS is fully modeled at this point. The terrain is, I believe, something that is planned TDS, isn't it? I believe that the both the terrain and the weather are planned. Now, if you go to the weather radar, you'll see it's here standby. If I go to weather, you'll see that it will detect some. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually the weather in X-Plane, but it does seem to me like it is detecting the weather in the sim, but I'm not sure. I mean, TDS probably can let us know. And this is implemented again in so you can change the bearing, can change the tilt, you can change the scanning orientation, all of that good stuff there you can do. You can also perform a test. There you go. So you can perform the weather test there. We'll leave this on weather and go back. Then we have the charts, which we've seen, the procedure, nearest airport. Again, you can click here to get all of this information. So if we click on the VOR here, you'll get the nearest VOR station. And of course, by clicking on it, it will automatically set it to the active nav frequency here in the device. Let me go back here. Again, you can select any of these. It works just like a chime. It just really is brilliant. Waypoint information, again, you can click here and get all the information that you need, including frequencies, the weather information, the NOTAMs, no NOTAM available, obviously, here. You can do a preview of the airport, the information, the available procedures, and the runways over at Stansted. Same goes for NDBs, intersections, user waypoints, and you can create a waypoint if you want. Going back here, looking at the services, again, the phone obviously doesn't work. In regards to weather, we plan on looking at a fully functional weather radar as soon as X-Plane SDK will provide us with this information. Oh, that's great. Terrain fully works in the current version. In this case, the aircraft is well above the maximum height. Hence, all right, we'll test it once we are closer to... thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. We'll take a look at that once we are closer to the ground. Music, I'm not sure if we're going to have this at some point, but it looks like you have all the buttons. Obviously, anything that you see in the Garmin trainer, you'll be able to see here, but then it's up to TDS to implement it. So, yeah, you've got it just exact replica of the real device in real life. So you've got your utilities as well. So here you can do the trip planning. So Norbo to EGSS, it gets the exact information. It's got the distance, it's got the time, and it's got also the fuel remaining. So if I go here and click on fuel planning, it will tell you how much reserve fuel you have at London Stansted. You can use here the data center, or you can use the position, whichever you use. It will give you the information accordingly. So I can click here and we'll change this to the position, the current longitude and latitude of our current position to our destination, which is pretty cool. Let's go back here. You've got also your winds here. Of course, this is again the sensor data, so this is getting it directly from the sim. And you've got your, I don't know what that is, really. Flight timers, you've got the timers. You can start your clock and set them up. and clear them whenever you like, scheduled messages, and you have, this is obviously not there yet. You can create a scheduled message as well. So lots of things in the utilities, and they are all implemented and they work exactly as they should. Let's click here and see. It says possible severe weather ahead. Ooh, cool. Okay. So systems, there are still a few things that are not implemented here. Rain prediction, will max be supported? That I don't know. Let me just take a look here at our speed. We are at 20,000, all right, 10,000 to go. All right. So if we look here at the system status, obviously it will have all the information regarding the navigational database. And we have also the GPS status. You've got all the satellites there, the current information about all the satellites, the position, which is pretty cool. Again, just true to life implementation, external LRUs. I don't really know what those are, but there you go. You have, of course, your setup here where you can set things up in terms of time, the keyboard type, and the time format, and what have you. And then if we go back, then you have your units as well here, so you can set up your units. I really like this because, for example, here the fuel, this specific aircraft doesn't have the kilograms, the metric conversions, so you have to always use pounds. So now you have kilograms here, so you can set things up properly. Perfect. Audio, we can obviously click here to reduce the volume a little bit, and you have the backlight, which you can, increase and decrease. The alerts, everything here is on currently. Arrival alert, you can set that as well, and the proximity. All of this is currently working as it should, and there you have it. Yeah. Everything that you expect to see. Now here, if we click here on this button, if I, let me see, I think it's this one. Let me see if I can do it. All right, let me remove this. All right, let me zoom in here. All right, and if I click here, now you switch onto the frequencies, which is cool. And then, let's see here. All right, here we go. There. So now I can actually switch here to the available functions. This is the nearest airport. I can go to SXM. I'm not sure what it stands for. It looks like the plan. There is your terrain. There is your traffic. And there is your flight plan and your map. Very, very cool. And we click again, it will take us back to the frequencies. There we go. All right, perfect. Very, very nicely done. I think this is pretty much nearing, it's pretty ready to meet TDS. What else do we need to what else do we need to wait for before it is released? We'll provide day one support for the TorqueSim CitationJet, the Seminole, Airbus, and Viper. Oh, okay. And the Viperjet. Oh, cool. That's very cool. How much it will take? I think you're asking about the time, yeah? Eric, since the use of the Garmin trainer, as far as I'm aware, it's a window-only software. Upon release, the navigation database will be fully updatable as part of the Navigraph FMS data manager to the current cycle. Oh, I see. Okay, that's good to know, because I'm another reason, guys, why you should get Navigraph charts. Which aircraft was already aware? All right, perfect. So that's been answered. GTNXi seems to be very intuitive to use. Yes, Thomas, it is. And support said we're open to discuss with the developers or other integration. Ah, gotcha. MSFS version to explain version free or upgrade charge. Before TDS answers this, I think it is only fair that they charge a fee for the explained version, I'm not sure about the 2024. If you have, maybe it's going to be, there's a small upgrade fee, but the X-Plane version is a brand new build. So they've built this from the ground up for X-Plane. So it's only fair that they charge a fee for it. If you own Microsoft version, do you have to purchase the X-Plane version? I would assume yes, but I'll let TDS comment on that. But my hunch would be yes. There should be. All right, we are about 5,000 feet away from our cruise altitude. All's looking good here. And let's see here. We can bring the lights off a little bit once. Let's take a look at the outside real quick.
Is this plane worth it? I already have Challenger.
Well, John, thank you very much for your 43 months of support. I really, really do appreciate it. Now, I have done a full review on the aircraft. In my opinion, the aircraft is an excellent rendition of the CitationJet. It is in-depth, and it's starting to get now, the documentation is coming slowly to it. It lacks in documentation. The weather radar is a work in progress. It does not have a failures module. It does not have a maintenance module. So in my view, the asking price is very high for the value that it delivers. That is my honest opinion. And my assessment of the aircraft is that it is worth somewhere between $60 to $65, unless of course, additional features are brought into the plane. But if you are interested in business jets, and specifically the Citation, this is probably by far the very best rendition of a Citation jet that you'll find for flight sim. And that is, of course, my honest opinion. You're most welcome, sir. Right, still looking good. I'm going to increase the N1 here just a tad. That will help us get to our cruise altitude a little bit faster. Very nicely done. Again, if we look here at the details that are shown. By the way, you can also change this. So if you go to menu, you can add terrain. And then you can add airways, and it will change the display for you there. So I'm just going to remove that. You can do the map setup, change the orientation of the map, all of that stuff you can do. So if I click here, we can say show low airways, and now you'll see low airways are depicted on the map. It just makes it a little bit too cluttered for my liking, so I like to turn that off. But everything else works exactly as it should. Yeah, very, very well done by TDS. Look at those clouds, guys. Wow. Default clouds in X-Plane are really starting to look very, very good. All right, 2,000 feet to go. Very nice. Look at the texture work here. Very, very nicely done. Really beautiful aircraft. I mean, the guys over at TorqueSim have always created very high fidelity aircraft for X-Plane 10, 11, and 12. I'm particularly fond of their Cirrus SR-22 and SR-20 Integra. Very, very well developed aircraft. I need to do a video for you guys on their BN2 Islander as well, because it's just really, look at this wing. Wow. Texturing is just of the highest order. Very, very nicely done. Look at the cabin there as well. Look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. All right. So if we look here, we'll see here we are at Lakey at 19.1. We can also get some information on our flight here by going to Navigraph charts. Let me remove the SimBrief plan and let's hit here. There we go. So we are actually not too far from Listo, which is the transition into our star. We are currently flying over... Where is this area here? Does anyone from the UK know where we're flying? Let's see here. Long Tot. Yeah, not an area that I'm familiar with. Manchester Fell. Yeah, someone from the UK can tell. Dougal, if he's still here. Hello, Cedric. Welcome aboard. Is the Citation or the Challenger better? That depends. They're both great. I just think that the Challenger 650, although priced higher, delivers a lot more value. That's my honest opinion about it. Great job, TDS. I will be buying the GTNX when it comes out. Yeah, I mean, you will not be disappointed, my friend. Challenger and Citation are two very different aircraft. They are. They are hard to compare, both solid aircraft, yes. But I still maintain that the Challenger provides a much more value for the buck. All right, let's ease off on the power here. We are at about 225 knots. And we should make it an on-time arrival into the English Lake District. Thank you very much, Simon. Appreciate it. Do you have an approximate idea when it will be available to the public? I don't know, but TDS for sure knows. But he's going to give you an approximation. Look, one of the things I really appreciate about TDS, and the reason why I've supported them from day one when they launched, they were about to launch the TDS Garmin device for Microsoft Flight Sim, is that they are very particular about the quality of their products. And, when I remember when after the Pro upgrade, I know I had some stuttering issue with the device, and I reached out to TDS software, and they actually they developed a small program for me to actually install and test. Now I know I wasn't very helpful there. I was just going through some stuff, and I wasn't really very helpful in installing their program and testing things out and giving them the results. But they are just tenacious. They are very committed to their product. They're very committed to their reputation, and they are very open to constructive criticism, which is something I really appreciate and really respect in developers that are very open. No matter what you say about their software, what about this? Why does it do that? Why isn't it this? The performance is not good. How does it compare to PMS? Why should I get your software? They just have the patience to sit down and answer all the questions, iron out all the issues, and they take every feedback from every customer very seriously. And these are the characteristics of a developer that you know, that we want in our community. Those are the kind of developers that will really shine and will always, you know, those who keep the customers always at the forefront of what they do. And TDS Software is one of those developers. So I'm happy to recommend them anytime. My name is Uncle Seryosa, is it? From Russia. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Thank you for being here and for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Yes, they are first class, top-notch developer. All right, let's take a look here. Clouds are looking really nice. Yeah. I'm really loving this CitationJet. It just looks so good. Right, I think we'll wait another maybe 5-10 minutes and then we can turn off the interior lights. They still look really nice. The night lighting is exceptional. By the way, we haven't said let's do that.
We've reached our cruising altitude and you're now
There
free
we
to
go.
move about the cabin. Please keep your seatbelt fastened while seated and feel free to enjoy any refreshments provided. If there's
All right.
anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable, don't hesitate to let us know.
All right, there we go. Our passengers are now moving around the cabin and having a good time. I also have this game, but it's not interesting to play because there are no normal players who could tell me what program needs to be installed and so on. Well, the thing is really not a game to play. It's really a flight sim. And so there is a ton of videos to tell you, you know, some of the best add-ons that you can install. You can always, you're more than welcome to always go to the Q8 Pilot Discord, and the team that supports the channel are always there to help. I'm there to help. So I invite you to join the Q8 Pilot Discord for help. I think, Dougal, that I did not program that back, the Discord. Sorry, Dougal. But I think it's in the About section of the channel. You can copy it from there and paste it here, if you will. Sorry about that, Dougal. I'll make sure I'll put that in for next time. Well, TDS Software, you absolutely deserve every word that I've said, and definitely Google's testimony there doesn't come from, you know, from emptiness, as they say. It comes from his experience and the community's experience with TDS Software. You guys are top-notch, and you deserve to be given that plaque. Seriously. Righty, let's see what messages we have here. Airspace alert, Earth is within 2 nautical miles and entry in less than 10 minutes. Airspace, I love this, by the way. Possible severe, that's an old one. WS alert, all right, so that we don't need. And everything else here is good. Perfect. All right. Looking here, and everything's looking good. About 13 nautical miles to the next waypoint. Guys, look at the clouds. Wow. It's actually looking pretty good. Let's switch to cabin view, maybe. Here, let's look at the passenger cabin. I love the fact that you can play with the with the shades there. And there is a sound. You can hear the sound as well. And this attention to detail is just massive. You can put the tables. Pretty cool. We can lower the armrest or sitting down and then bringing it back up. Yeah, pretty cool. I think we can start turning off the lights. No need for the floodlights anymore. I think everything is pretty visible now. Right, so night light switches are off. Yeah, the clouds look really nice finally. Yes, they do. All right. Let's take a quick look here at where we are. We are almost at the top of descent. And if we come down here... Listo. All right. So you'll see that the Garmin device actually automatically calculates the top of descent based on the flight plan and the destination. And you'll see that if I move the mouse here, you'll see TOD, so that's top of descent. So it is automatically calculated for you and displayed, which is very, very cool. And it works. So I've done it looks like there's traffic here. You see that little aircraft there? So TCAS is fully implemented, and you can see the traffic. Again, you have the TD set up properly. Everything is... I really am wondering what else is remaining before we can actually get this into beta and then the release. It actually works pretty well, TDS. I'm pretty, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really enjoying it. I couldn't get it to work with the... I guess some work will be needed for the integration with the CIS Seminole. But yeah, when I came to the CitationJet and I selected the GTNXi from the Avionics menu and it worked, I was just really jumping. I was really, really pleased to see that it actually works. Matt Franson, welcome to Captain, sir. Thank you very much for your support. Truly appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you, sir. Right, so we do have the TOD here, which should be in a few minutes from now. We'll begin the descent towards our destination. Let's go ahead and note the platform altitude. So we're going to click here at runway 22. Look at that, 15 knot wind and 6 knots. That's crosswind, sorry, and 6 knots headwind. The current conditions are VFR. Let's click here and take a quick look at the weather first. The weather is 290, gusting to 27 knots. Oof. Wow. All right. Broken at 3,400. Temperature is 6. And the QNH is 1007. Okay. Let's go back to the charts. We're going to select the approach, and it's runway 22. So let's select it here. We're going to note the frequency, which is 110.5. You have 110.5 already set here, 110.5. And the approach course is 222. And the platform altitude is 2,500 feet. Now, I know there are some restrictions along the way. So if we go to our flight plan... So let's go to the flight plan. So there are some, we have 20 here, 15 at Finma. And let's see if there are any other, yeah, we do have 7,000 and 3,000. So there is a restriction at Laurel. Laurel is the beginning of the transition. So if I go, look at that, guys. You see it, you saw it? Traffic. There you go. So you do have the
vertical track.
All right, vertical track is now telling us that we're reaching top of descent and that we should begin the descent now. So let's go to the map here real quick and show you that. So that's TOD, as you can see. And what we're going to do now is we're going to reset the altitude here. We're going to set this to, let's go to, again, you can see traffic there in the display. We're going to set the altitude to... We'll put it at 7,000 feet for the time being. All right, so 7,000. And now we can use either vertical speed or we can use IAS and let the airplane that's... I'm going to go ahead and use the vertical speed, and I'm going to set it to 1,500 feet per minute. There we go. 1,500 feet is now set, and we have begun the descent towards London Stansted. And we're going to ease off on the throttle here to control our speed. There we go. Excellent. We might actually need a slightly faster rate of descent, so we can check here. Yeah, descent to destination is almost 3,000. So let me change this a little bit here. Let me bring that up, and we're going to descend at 2,700 to 7,000. We'll ease off on the throttles. There we go. Not a very comfortable rate of descent, but nonetheless, we do want to make it. We probably have a few more days of work until finalizing alpha. We want to have RSG support on day 1 as well as a little bit of VR work. Oh, VR is important, yeah. Gotcha. All right. Let's go ahead and let our passengers know that we are descending.
We're beginning our descent. Please return to your seat and ensure that your seatbelt is fastened. Stow any loose items and make sure your seat is in the upright position. We'll be landing shortly, and we appreciate your cooperation.
All right, so descent defog system as required. Pressurization, set destination pressure elevation plus 200. That's already set. Anti-ice, de-ice as required. Throttles as required. Altimeters will set them at transition altitude. The landing data is confirmed, and the landing or recognition lights are as required. And the descent checklist is complete. Okay. Perfect. Those clouds, though, they look absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm glad that we picked an early morning departure from Glasgow, because it allowed us to take a look at the night lighting of the CitationJet. So that was pretty cool. I really like the night lighting of this aircraft. I like everything about this aircraft. It's just so unfortunate that it's so so overpriced, and it's so out of reach from so many in the community. And if they lower the price a little bit, I think from a sales perspective, I think they'll do much better. But I think they'll also appeal to a wider audience in the community. Hello, stay with aviation. Welcome aboard. X-Plane 12 better than MSFS, I think. They're both great simulators. I think they both deliver different things for different audiences. Definitely, there is a massive market for Microsoft Flight Sim, and that's that's okay. Let's change this to not much market for X-Plane these days, and this is the reason why you'll see that all major developers have moved to the MSFS platform. But I am very, very glad that reputable developers like TDS Software is still developing for X-Plane. We have this beautiful TorqueSim. We have the Felis, the Q400. There are just a lot of high fidelity aircraft. The 777 by Flight Factor. So we still have some developers that are developing for the X-Plane platform. And I think with the recent changes in X-Plane, it has really become a serious contender to a Microsoft Flight Sim. If you like VFR, I think Microsoft Flight Sim will appeal more to you than X-Plane. But if you like IFR, then yeah, X-Plane probably is the way to go. That's, of course, in terms of scenery and how the sim looks. Now, in terms of physics, I don't agree with the statement that says that X-Plane is light years ahead of Microsoft Flight Sim. That is not an accurate or fair statement to make. I think X-Plane does excel in terms of the flight dynamics, and this is simply because of how the flight model is implemented in X-Plane using blade element theory versus, you know, the lookup tables. So it is more accurate, but Microsoft Flight Sim is not that far behind. The ground physics, on the other hand, I still feel that that X-Plane is has a bigger edge when it comes to ground physics. I purchased a great aircraft, and even if I don't use it much, I try to buy as a help for the developer community stay in X-Plane. That is a very good cause, my friend. Thank you for your support to the community and to the development team over at TorqueSim. Burger Pops, yes, it does have that arcade-ish feel to it. With this new thing, this career whatever. Yeah, I find it, you know, not very... I don't find it enjoyable. A lot of people like it. I personally don't. So I'm not, you know, I don't like tycoon games. I don't like this career stuff. Just not my thing. Right, we are descending through 15,000 to 7,000. I think the first initial we've set it to 7,000. Yep. So yeah, 7,000. All right, let's take a look at the outside here real quick. Look at this beautiful Orbex scenery here over the beautiful United Kingdom as we approach London Stansted. Here's a look at that, guys. I mean, this looks pretty good, I have to say. Right, we need to ease off on the power here. Okay, let's bring the throttle back. All right. Let's take a quick look here at our Garmin device. There's a TOD here. This means that we need to descend from the 7,000. So BKY, if we look back to our flight plan, so this is BKY or Parkway. From Barkway to Busta, we can actually, once we're here, we can actually activate the approach. We're at 10,000 feet. We are going to turn on the landing lights. The altimeter is 1007. And the next waypoint, the next restriction, so let me just take a quick look here. So Laurel at 7,000, BKY then 3,000. All right, so we're looking good. We can actually slow down the aircraft here. But what we can do now, since we are at Laurel, what we can do, folks, is we can activate the approach. So if you go here, back, and we're going to go to procedures, and we're going to say activate, not activate vectors to final, but activate approach. So we're going to click that, and now it's going to fly direct to Laurel. And from Laurel, it's going to fly to BKY, from BKY to... This is our route here to runway 22. So this is the TOD point, and we're looking good. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to continue on the current path. Let's click back. There we go. 7,000. 1007. All right, so 1007 is now set. And 1007 is now set. Perfect. Right, speed is coming down. Let's increase throttle a little bit here. We're going to maintain 7,000 for now. And about 200 knots. The Garmin device really works exactly as it should. So the only things that are remaining is VR like TDS said. Hello, Andre. Welcome aboard. I think X-Plane has come a long way. Laminar research really improved in terms of visuals, and at the same time, Asobo improved MSF's flight dynamics. Yes, absolutely. Well said. Well said, my friend. All right. Right, everything's looking good here as we approach. So from the TOD point, we are going to descend to 2,500. And right now, look at that. Yeah. You know, one of the things I would really love to have is for Orbx to develop the entire world for X-Plane 12. It's probably going to be terabytes of data, but I think it will really improve the overall experience in X-Plane. No, they are not far from one another, Sergio. I agree with you. I don't know if any of the moderator... All right, there we go. Thank you, Dougal. Appreciate it. Right. We can begin the descent now. Let's see. That's COD. That's Laurel. So if we look at our flight plan at Laurel, we are at exactly 7,000. So there is a restriction. You can see the line on top and bottom. This is one of the things I really like in the Garmin device. Very, very informative unit. So graphically and textually both provides you with a lot of information that is very useful for, you know, for both navigation and for situational awareness as well. So a great unit to have, even in real life. Look at this view, guys. Looks pretty cool. All right. Almost there. Let's take a quick look here at the weather, see if things have changed at Stansted. Still the same. 290, 16 knot wind, gusting to 27 knots. It's going to be a rough landing for sure. Wow. That's a lot of wind. But I'm sure you guys like that. We've been flying in the UK recently for this reason. I think a lot of you guys appreciate you know, the approaches when they are difficult. And gusting winds to 27 knots in a CitationJet, that's going to be some approach into London Stansted. Here is again a look at the beautiful scenery by Orbx True Earth for X-Plane 12. All right, we're about 7.2 nautical miles. Okay, we can, I think, begin the descent. Pilot deviation displays weather. Yes, it does. Check out the airport information page on the GTN. All right, so the weather information page here. By the way, we can click here on terrain. Yeah, we don't have that. All right, so the weather page here, if you click on the radar, that's what you get here. And you can also go to the map, go to airport information. So if you go to waypoint information, airports, and then you click on WX data, you'll see here the wind 290 at 16 knots, wind gust 27 knots, broken 34, exactly what we have from Navigraph. The source is the Sirius XM, altimeter is 1007.
Vertical track.
Right, here's vertical track. Let's change the altitude again. So let's come here and I'll select 2500. Alrighty, and let's bring up the autopilot here. And we are going to set vertical speed. And let's descend at 1500 feet per minute. There we go. Excellent. Again, we don't want our speed to go up too much now. So we'll ease off on the throttle. And we'll begin the descent towards London Stansted. The device really works exactly as it should. We've had some seriously windy weather lately in the UK. Yes, Dougal, my family's currently there, so yeah, they've been telling it's been very cold and the weather has been really acting up lately. So yeah, I hear you, my friend. All right, that's BKY, our Bravo Kilo Yankee. The transition into our final approach. All right, we're going to come here, set this to land. Okay. All right. At 2,500 feet, we're still looking good. There we go. That's the turn. So we're going to turn here for the runway. All right, I'm going to reduce the rate of descent to maybe 1,000 feet per minute. There we go, 1,000 feet per minute. And we're looking at about 8.8 nautical miles. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm feeling the wind already. It looks like there is some rain as well. Yeah, not a very nice day to fly. Yeah, we're going to start seeing the turbulence now. 1,000 feet for our final platform altitude as we approach London Stansted. The airport is actually to our right. It is exactly southeast of our position now. You can see the plane here on the Garmin device. You can see that it's tilted. And that's probably because of all the wind. I love how everything is implemented just like the real unit on this Garmin device. Very, very well done. Here is, as you can see, the final fix for runway 22. And 3,000 is actually the, not 2,500, but I have platform altitude as 2,500, so that's fine. So that's 2,500, and we're going to maintain 2,500 until established. There we go. That's 2,500 feet. We'll give it a little bit of throttle and maintain about 180 knots until we are on final approach. Definitely turbulent weather here as we approach London Stansted. All right, let's go ahead and do the approach. Let me just take a quick look here. So the approach checklist, seat belts and shoulder harness are secure. The avionics flight instruments are checked. Radar altimeter is it set? No, it's not set. Let me just double check here. Let's see, for 100. Okay, so let's set that. All right, it is set now. Excellent. And let's see, engine synchronizer will go off. And here's the turn. We have 110.5 already set up as the active nav, and it will indicate here that this is an ILS approach, or an ILS frequency, if you will. All right, we're going to start decreasing our speed. And we're going to go to approach. And we're going to click here on VLOC. There we go. Let's watch our speed. The approach course is set to 222. And this is, of course, automatically done by the Garmin device. We're looking good. And we have now intercepted the localizer. The runway is in sight. You can see the runway is right there. There's very strong winds. Let me set the heading bug. Let's see here. I'll bring this out. And heading bug. There we go. We can see the glide slope moving down. All right. And we are going to lower the landing gear. We can see the runway, but there's a very violent crosswind there. Gusting winds, 16 knot wind, gusting to 27. But we do have the runway in sight, as you can see there. It's right there. There, look at how the plane, look at that crosswind, guys. Wow. One of the things I love about X-Plane is this. All right, let's increase the speed here a little bit. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. First, I'm going to set the flaps. And let's go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Let's bring the yoke. Autopilot off. And my aircraft. Right, we'll set the... Let me set my view here so I can see what I'm doing. It's gonna be a rough landing, for sure. I'm gonna use a little bit of rudder to correct the... We'll be fine, guys. Hopefully.
$500.
What's up with the frames there? All right, we've made it. Wow, the wind is so strong, guys. All right, we've made it safely. The Garmin callouts were not there for some reason. We only got it at 500. Maybe there is a setting that I need to do. Wow, 727 knot gusting wind. Eek, that's a lot. All right, let me let's take a quick look at our landing here. Let's see here. Hopefully it won't break. It was on approach. There was some stuttering there. It's kind of ruined the experience, but that's all right. Yeah, look at that. Oof, the wind was just so strong. All right, there we go. All right, I think right about here is cool.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Well, let's take a
Don't
look at
sink.
that. Look at that crosswind, guys.
Don't sink.
Why is it?
Don't sink. Don't sink.
All right.
Don't sink.
Great landing considering the crosswind.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a good landing considering the circumstances. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Dougal max demonstrated crossing at 21 knots. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it is incredible for sure. The TDS device is just really outstanding, and it did exactly what it should do. Does it normally have like 50, 30, 50, 30? I can't recall. All right, so we are on the ground, and let's go ahead and just let our passengers know here.
Welcome to your destination. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we've come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. We're glad you chose to fly with us. Thank you and have a great day.
All right, so after landing flaps up, ignition normal. We forgot to set them to on. P2 and static heat switch is off. Landing anti-collision lights. So anti-collision lights are off. Anti-ice systems, transponder to standby. So we're going to come here and go to standby. Much easier with the Garmin device to set your transponder. And the radar is off or standby, so that is also done. So we're going to go to weather, radar, and it's already on standby. Perfect. And we're going to turn on our taxi lights. Okay. And the after landing checklist is complete. I absolutely second what you just said there, Dougal. TDS, great product and great service and very friendly customer support as well. All right, we'll just go to the main terminal over there to park the aircraft. I really enjoyed the citation in this flight. I think it's more enjoyable with the Garmin device, to be completely honest. So this is the TDS Garmin device is a must. By the way, folks, I've had the Reality XP Garmin device, but it's just really not a very well developed software, and it causes a lot of issues for me, at least. And when I tried to get support, it was a nightmare to get support. So so I gave up on it and uninstalled it a long time ago from my system. Never, thought about it again. And I always wondered, what if TDS brings their device to X-Plane? It would be a real treat. And finally, it's here. It's coming very soon, so I'm quite happy about that. Oh, you're still working on that a bit. All right, thanks for that, TDS. There are no callouts next to the 500 by default. I see. Any landing you walk away from is a good landing. Yes, sir. Very nice looking aircraft. The texturing is just really of the highest order on this aircraft. I really like the modeling on the Citation. Honest comparison between XP Reality and this one. Well, I haven't used the XP Reality in a very long time, so it would be unfair for me to make a statement on that. You guys know that that honesty is is my middle name when it comes to, you know, flight sim and in life in general. I love honesty. So I think it is very unfair that I compare something that I've just tested out and experienced with something I haven't tested out in years. But my previous experience with the XP Reality GTN device is that it wasn't up to the mark, not in terms of the software itself, its implementation, or from the support. So I actually struggled to get support, and I didn't get it. Eventually, I never got it, and I never actually got it to work properly on my PC, and so I just uninstalled it. The TDS GTNXi for X-Plane will have fully updatable Navigraph navigation date. Yeah. All right, we are here at the main terminal. We can see a lot of Ryanair aircraft. Now we're going to leave those guys, the big guys, alone, and we'll park the aircraft somewhere there. By the way, one of the nice things in the new version of X-Plane, if you haven't noticed, is that when you go to the airport map, it will tell you what kind of position is the current parking suited for. So for props, turbo props, I'll show you in a minute. Let's just bring the aircraft to a stop here and bring it to, there we go, right here. And that's good. All right. And parking brake is set. All right, let's go to the shutdown procedure now. Parking brake is set. Defog fan is off, which it is off. Air conditioning is off. Flaps takeoff. All right, so flaps are retracted. Standby gyro switch goes to the off position. All right, that's off. The standby gyro is caged, so pull to cage. Passenger advisory switch is off. Exterior lights. We're going to turn off the taxi lights there. All right, and the, let's see, nav lights, anti-collision, all of these lights are already off. And finally, we're going to go and turn off the avionics. And the inverter is off. And now we can turn off the, bring back the throttles. Throttles are off. And we'll wait for the N2 to reach 8%. There we go. And now we can turn off the beacon lights. And finally, we can turn off the battery switch to the off position. Generators are off. The lock is engaged. And now we are pretty much done. So we can actually move to the back of the aircraft now and open the doors and let the passengers out. There we go. No, the other way. All right, there we go. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The TDS GTNXi Garmin device for X-Plane 12. Again, I want to thank the guys over at TDS Software for providing a copy for me to showcase here on the channel. It's been paramount amount of fun really flying the CitationJet by TorqueSim with the TDS Garmin device. I think the device from the practical point of view really improves the flying experience. It makes things, it makes the workload in the cockpit a lot less. It was a very accurate representation. It has worked very well during our flight today, both from the navigational perspective and from the visual perspective and the simulated functions of the real-world unit. I want to thank you guys for being here. For those of you who will not be joining me on Tuesday, I wish you happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. I will probably do a stream on Tuesday, which is the 24th. It will more than likely be on Twitch, though, not YouTube. And I will be back on YouTube every Saturday from now on, and on Twitch every Tuesday at exactly the same time. Once again, thank you very much, guys, for being here. Dougal, thank you very much for helping moderate the stream today. I know that you're not feeling well, so thank you very much for being here, despite the fact that you weren't feeling very well. I really, truly appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much, guys, for being here this evening. And until I meet you again, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and have a pleasant day.